What's up everyone, it's Jambors, new video, and in this video I will be talking about Eurovision 2024 in general, like the summary of it, the last point of it. I don't want to get back to it, hopefully, anymore. It's over, and let's do this balance video. I think it will be a little bit longer, so sit down, calm down, write notes, write them in the commentaries down below, and let's discuss after you'll watch it all, because I'm very curious about your thoughts about those points. Let's talk. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel, very glad you're here, and let's start immediately. I wrote a list over here, it's actually 2 pages there, and I will be working with it to tell you all what I want. And I wrote like Eurovision 2024 pluses and minuses, strength and weaknesses, let's say. It's not really good on the strength side, but let's start with pluses, shall we? So the first plus are stagings, or in general the visual presentation. In my opinion, this was brilliant. This was maybe even the best one Eurovision, or at least best one after Sweden 2016, which still in my opinion was somewhere a little bit else for some reason almost 10 years later. But I really liked it, I really like the approach, I really like lots of stagings, even the ones I didn't like for some reasons, or I described in my masterclasses why they weren't that good than the rest. In general, if Eurovision is heading somewhere, and it's illogical, it's the visual presentation, it's the tricks, it's the usage of the technology which Eurovision provides. And in my opinion, 2024 shown that even though we maybe lack somewhere else, this is a value we can really crave on, which is good, because I'm glad that Eurovision really looks amazing and no one probably can tell it's not. Yeah, and that's the last plus of it all. I can also talk a little bit about the script, I can talk a little bit about the general Eurovision show feeling. I mean, the broadcast, all 3 broadcasts were kind of funny. I liked it. I don't like postcards, okay, blah blah blah, but overall I really enjoyed it, despite all the minuses which Eurovision had this year. So let's get to it. The first minus is song selection processes. Yes, everything started over there, or we can go a little bit forward to the, or a little bit around it, and we can say that everything has started with the horrendous decision of EBU to exclude juries from the semifinals instead of reforming the jury's body in general, but I will get to it a little bit later. But this of course affected the selection processes, because this year I think there were only few countries which can tell that their selection process, which I mean now the external, like the not internal choices, but let's say the competition processes, were all or most of them very low quality, or much lower than normally, than usually. Like worst artists, worst songs, nothing like I would say like, oh my god, immediate winner. No, it wasn't there. It was again ruled by visual presentation mostly, then the artist's quality, then the singing quality, and then the songs themselves. There was really nothing which would super stand out, and in my opinion, this where it all started. We didn't have, for example, I will give you example of Finland, right? That was another, let's say, fan favorite, really good song in my opinion, but still it was we have a say in Czech that one-eyed is a king among the blind. So this was exactly this, which when live wasn't really performed well, not really sung well, and then the joke act won. Anyway, this doesn't matter. I think all started over there. What producers of internal televisions or of public broadcasters in each country selected to their shows, how they did their shows. We can still criticize the Czech one. I think we can. It wasn't a good choice how it was done, because it didn't show the artist in a good light. And there were so other many. Spanish one, no hit. Like there were some better songs in my opinion, yes, better artists, yes, but you know, there wasn't like a something which you would listen. So this led to the other point, which is the song quality, which in my opinion is the worst Eurovision song quality minimum in a decade. 100%. First of all, in the year of the like massive social media. I think it's just increasing. The biggest song by streams is the song which not even gets to the finals, was disqualified. And then the rest, including the winner, the numbers are really low. The winner, it's not even a number one. It's very underwhelming, and it's just creates a big precedent that Eurovision doesn't really worth to go there for the artists which are bigger or have bigger ambition, because it won't really help with your streaming numbers or your own business, which should be. But you cannot use 2024 year as an example to use when you're trying to persuade those artists to go for Eurovision, because you basically don't have the argumentation for them, which is sad, which is also bad, which also kind of comes with the decisions made behind the scenes. Anyway, this is a fact. This is a fact proven by numbers. So we can discuss about it, you like it or not, but the fact the numbers are not lying. No one cares. It's a very vast minimum of people who cares about Eurovision song very soon after it ended, and even during. So not really a good advertisement for the whole brand. That leads to another thing. It was Eurovision with the biggest number of artists who weren't able to perform their song, sing their song perfectly, and I mean perfectly. Which, if you imagine that you go to the concerts of those artists who barely can sing their own song, one song, how can they make up the concert with a good quality? Of course, concert is a little bit different beast. Everything can hidden, it's more natural, more authentic, but still, like, look where producers went. I think this is another minus, that the producers really lowered completely their standards, and they're not expecting good quality artists anymore. It's more about the song, and somehow, however, we will manage. You can see that you cannot manage Belgium, Austria, many other countries, Spain, UK. It was terrible. Like, this is not like, let's say it out loud, it was terrible. This level of singing shouldn't be allowed at Eurovision, because it's a disaster for the whole brand. It's irresponsible, it's absolutely devastating, and it just creates a precedent again when you're hiring new artists to Eurovision, and you'll say, yeah, it's about singing, blah blah blah, and they have already two arguments, like, okay, the song doesn't work, where is the proof that they can work from the past but now? And second, okay, it's not for the best artists or the top artists or the artists with the biggest potential. It's for anyone who has a friend over there, or it's funny, or having I don't know, whatever, it's not about, for most of artists, again, the Eurovision stopped being about a skill, which is absolutely terrible. And that leads me to another minus of this Eurovision, because lots of artists behave like activists. And this is something which in general don't belong to entertainment, because entertainment is for everybody, but with activism you exclude a lot of percentage of people. Doesn't matter if you agree with their political opinions or not, but this is something what divides. This is something what creates drama. This is something what attracts over the music and songs and skills. But maybe also because so many artists lacked those skills, and they came with this PR card, which nothing else it was, which completely backfired everybody, even the good ones, like, I don't mean good ones in the way of behavior, I don't care, but even the ones which would deserve the attention. This is very wrong on so many levels, because no one takes artists their political thinking. It doesn't actually matter their political thinking. It's good that they have it, because they are the same as us. We have opinions, they can have opinions, everybody can have opinions, and they are doing decisions. But over there, the professionality should win, the brand should win, the responsibility towards the history of the brand also should win, and it didn't happen. And we had artists who were smuggling flags on the flag parades, to not even showing the flag of their country, or show, absolutely incredible. This is the artist this year, which is also a mistake of the producers of each country, to bring such artists who were activists instead of being artists on stage for people who, imagine that the public broadcaster is paying you, right? So you are representing all the people who are paying it, the ones you agree with, even the ones you don't agree with, and you just say, no, I'm I'm representing somebody else. And this is not good. This is not good for the contest in general. It backfires crazily, and for the reputation of the contest, this is like really a huge blow. Which leads me to delegations. They weren't able to stop this. They weren't able to tell their artists, stop doing this, stop being this. This is not the purpose of your being here. And of course, we will never know if those televisions, for example, punish those artists or stop cooperating with them for that reason, but I wouldn't mind, because this wasn't good. And honestly, if I have an artist, and I once have a very complicated artists, especially the artist management, who all like that was on the verge of also disqualifying few people internally, kind of. But this is a dead blow, because you know the artist is here for 1 year. The delegation, the country, is continuing the other ones. But this is the perception from the artist about the country next year, and those artists just putting a shade on their mates next time. And this is a shameful thing what happened, and the delegations weren't able to stop it, to tell them what is going on. And this is just my subjective feeling, but I think few delegations were also kind of activistic, and they supported those artists in those activities, or they were very weak and they just did what is happening nowadays extremely, with all things shattering. Principles are not principles anymore, and people are behaving like they want, regardless the respect towards the authority and so on, or people with bigger responsibility. And that's it. Those people don't have power. The managers are changed for worse managers who don't have a power, and no one is here to say like, shut up, you're here to sing and perform, not being activists. You're here to sing and perform, and not to question everything. You know Eurovision, you can watch every season on YouTube, and this is what you're going to go there representing your country. Knock it off. You're representing your country. But no one did this homework, because I believe that everybody is afraid of saying something wrong or something sharp to somebody who doesn't respect anything. And that's why the people who doesn't respect anything has very huge power. Just because we are weak to tell them, stop this. There is the line. If you cross it, adieu. This is what we cannot do, and that's why also the digress of quality is, because of course the people with the lower quality of craft are being also the biggest morons. Let's say it like this. That leads me to another fact, and this is the Eurovision with probably the biggest scandals, or most scandals. We have disqualification, we have boycotts, and I mean supporting boycotting. We have also boycotts from spokespersons. Crazy things were happening in every country. Scandals in TV news, scandals in newspaper. There was nothing positive written, for example, in Czechia about Eurovision this year, and it was the most covered Eurovision also because of the scandals. And it wasn't watched pretty well, but everybody knew about the scandals. Terrible. Juries frauds. There were juries who openly said that they didn't support some country of principle. This is, for me, you're disqualified person for something, and you should do the same for the country who completely break the principal rules of the contest. This is crazy, and this is why I'm saying the juries needs to be completely reformed, but we need them, because if we don't have them, we have only activism there. I'm telling you this. And press conferences, scandals. This all was like absolutely spit on the face of Eurovision, if Eurovision has a face. This was a nonsense, like crazy thing. And if it's not all, and it's not all, another minus, it's hateful fandom. Oh my god, of course I cannot generalize to whole fandom, but I'm starting to saying like those hardcore Eurovision fans. Okay, they had political opinions, but the way how they expressed this, how they behaved, how I see those vlogs, and so on, how much hate is there said, in what kind of manner it's said, and how the hate is supported. And I see that so many of them are the generation below me, kind of, which is scary for me, because also the sharing of absolutely fake news became a standard. It normally was a political contest, and if somebody, including artists, made this contest very political, were the hardcore fans. And again, maybe it's from their perspective a righteous fight, but the way how they decided to do it just made another minus for the whole Eurovision brand, basically undermining the authority of the brand as a musical competition. Again, it's something which I called a hijack, and I don't want it. I want this brand to rise 160 million people watched it. I think the potential is around 300 million people, and 300 million people to watch it with all the seriousness of a competition. Now it's a joke. Just admit it. Eurovision again is becoming a big joke, and you see how many minuses I found. And we are continuing. I have one more page, and that comes from how fans were behaving, or the majority of hardcore fans, hardcore community, hardcore bloggers, vloggers. It's EBU failure of communication, which is a long-term continuation, and this year escalated to all those conflicts because no one was preventing them, no one was talking about it, no one from the managers of Eurovision, which is for me absolutely unacceptable and absolutely crazy. I don't understand why everybody is in their bubble, didn't come to those fans, didn't come personally to those artists, didn't do a big meeting, open meeting, whatever, and just talk facts to them personally. Everything is throughout the email, everything is throughout the PR stances, everything is communicated on social media, but no one talks eye to eye. Like normally, no one can shake hands anymore with the meaning. Nothing like this exists. And we say the fish smells from the head. Come on. EBU after this year established 2 new positions. Again, higher positions. It should go with creating a team of people who are working from not above, but from here, and change completely the people from above to people who live in reality, I think this is the era when something crazy starts to happen, that you can see the power of the managements, which is a joke. Let's be honest, I'm very, this is a big minus. This is for me a big minus of Eurovision 2024, because it escalated to the point where all the mistakes, all the weak links were visible in its completely prime true nature, and it's a not good visit card for Eurovision. This is come on, we all see it, and of course we see, but I will get to it a little bit later. But yeah, I will get to it a little bit later, but very soon, because I have one more minus that comes with EBU. This is the jury's exclusion from semifinals, which also led to this. Again, it was such a weak decision. So we have fraud countries who weren't even punished. I don't know what's worse than the corruption. No one was disqualified for this. And next year, instead of reforming juries or having better control mechanism, let's cancel the juries from the semifinals. You know, the countries will make it. No one was thinking that the quality will go completely lower, and that actually it will make, for some countries, if they won't come with the hit, and there will be like this year where with average songs in general, that the countries with no power have no power to get through the public voting. And this is one thing, and the other thing is, of course, this also makes the contest less professional, because in professional competitions there are always juries, always, not here. So that actually talks for itself or by itself, right? And then the thing is that also every decision like this is happening behind a closed door. So we know the results, the decisions, no, we don't know the results. We know the decisions happening now, but then everything what is happening behind a closed door, nothing. So it's kind of unfair transparentness. It's this, we do something and we will decide what's gonna happen, and we will never find out what happened. We will never find out. It's this close, but we need to choose one thing. We will do everything behind closed doors, or we will be transparent. And of course with transparency comes, it's of course not possible all the time because some of the like major rules, but the most transparency, it's very important for the trustworthy of the brand. Maybe for including much more brands as sponsors, having it to the wider, you know, talking, communications, it's lacking, it's not there. How can we rise? Like, we are living from tradition. There are people who maintaining this tradition, but they're not helping it, they're not doing anything really good for the brand. I don't see it. I see only the downfall. I don't see any rise up because no one even said about what is the philosophy of the show, where it's gonna go, where they feel it won't go. Nothing. It's just, oh, we changed this rule. Why? We want more power to producers. So basically, you made it a producers show instead of a competition again. Whatever. We know that those things are kind of issue, and it's a minus for me because it never comes with a good PR. It never comes with a good communication. It doesn't make sense. It's not good. There are no things connected to each other. There are big, strong decisions which affects everything, and it's like it's a minor thing. No, there are like a lot of no. It's not. This is bad for Eurovision. The issue is I have, and this is the last minus, is that this year, and because I don't see any real changes are communicated out, even, come on, it's like 3-4 months. I know it was summer, but we will see. But the thing is that if people in general, if things won't in general change completely, like 180 degrees, we can expect the worst Eurovision to come in 2025. Because if so many things won't change, and you saw the list is crazy. If those things will not change, this 2024 Eurovision was just a breakfast before lunch. This is like, because this can happen, you know. We maybe say like, oh my god, we went through the worst. But what if not? What? Because we don't see anything is moving. We don't see any change. We see the arrogance. We see the approach. We see no one really openly said they did something wrong or the Eurovision don't go anywhere. I know I'm criticizing, but there is a lot to criticize. I would like to have a priceful comments, but I don't. And if everybody thinks that this was okay, it was just an exception, 2025 will be even worse. This is inevitable. Or things will change. So many things will start to changing, and it can change the whole course. But let's see, because I want to end this video positively, that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I believe that if we will be talking, we will be naming those issues, from the outside, and hopefully they will be reflected in the inside also, that we will help with a positive change, because everything can be changed positively only if we are talking about it. Of course, like, I'm here to help with this, of course, and I'm also very good in this, but this cannot be done by one person, and I really would like you also to speak out. I know that a lot of people from delegations also watching this channel. I really would like you to speak out loudly and do something about it, or you'll be signed under the worst Eurovision period of all time. Maybe, yes, because before that it wasn't social media that much. Now this will be big in the scandals. This is not what we want, right? This is not what you want, and I think this is not what your legacy should be also, because lots of you are really amazing people and hardworking people. And also this counts for the vloggers and bloggers, because you care about it, I know it, but I think you should also think about it with a little bit different perspective to start a positive change of Eurovision, because hate leads nowhere, really. And I think Eurovision was made against the hate, and even though it's very big and it's very hard to not involve this passion into it, this is something what should connect us instead of dividing us. And now the second thing is happening, but I hope for the first and the last time. Thank you for watching, guys. Write me in the comments below what do you think about this long vlog, and give me a like, give me a super like, buy me a coffee if you want to, or become a member of this channel, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.